You know what's scary? Sex slaves. Sex slaves are scary. Give him some suspenders and a mask. You go to an orgy and you're like, oh, look at all these beautiful people, and there's just some guy in the corner with a mask on. You're like, ooh, scary boy. I don't want him to whip me. Let's do that. Let's give him that. Get the out of my office.
Why is Vince McMahon the alien bug from Men in Black?
Boss time! Boss time! At last, it's season 2!
Off.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, you fucking dirty, filthy punk licking marks. You disgust me. Welcome to It's Boss Time, the best pure strikers in podcast history, official Rico and Constantino fan chat on your streaming services, on YouTube a day later. I think that's what we're going to do from now on. Doesn't matter. You're listening to it now.
Good
Who
idea.
gives a shit what day it is? Whatever day it is,
Doesn't
you're
matter.
probably still jizzing over CM Punk, you little losers.
CM Punk, CM Punk, CM Punk.
He's a 50-year-old man who thinks he's cool because he doesn't drink beer. He's a loser. Get over yourselves.
And scene.
And see.
And thanks for joining us.
How are you guys?
Yeah, I'm very CM Punk. I mean, very well, thank you.
Oh, I'm doing well. I have to admit, it was pretty bloody fantastic to see him back. For
Man.
For WWE loyalist scum that I am, it was good to see him back, just on TV at a
It
pro
was
wrestling
surreal,
event.
wasn't it? Like, because a lot of the people in the build-up, because we've been McMahoned so many times, you sort of thought, oh, there might be a chance that this doesn't happen and it's the old bait and switch. But no, AEW just step up, give people what they want. And it was unreal. I don't think there's ever been a louder pop
Pop was incredible.
in the history of wrestling.
Incredible pop.
Insane. I always tie it back to Stone Cold Steve Austin helping Mick Foley win the WWE title on Raw. That was a huge freaking pop. Same with Edge at the Rumble, but
Oh, yeah. Or the Hardys at WrestleMania.
yeah, that was massive, man.
That was huge. It was different, wasn't it? Because there's so many more people there, of course.
yeah, and the
But,
sound
like-
sort of travels up in a stadium more.
Yeah.
I
But
listened to them all
that
on
Hardy
YouTube, though,
pop,
and
I
they just
remember that
didn't
was
compare.
huge.
They didn't compare.
No.
And then I think
Yeah.
Money in the Bank, Cena's return recently, would be up there as well.
Oh, yeah, that was
spot on.
massive.
Yeah, really
Yep.
big. And even Brock's return the other day was really big, but just the way the
Yeah,
stadium was
It really
set out,
was.
yeah,
Yeah.
you didn't quite get that same feel. But I think volume-wise,
And
it would have been similar.
Becky's as well. There was Becky's pop was huge.
I'm not prepared to
And
talk
I
about
always think
Beppy's
back to-
return. Beppy,
Oh,
I
no,
think I
man.
just said
I
Beppy.
know.
Queen Pepsi herself. I just
Yep.
we'll
get there. We'll get there.
I feel like I just want to get it out of the way. Let's just talk about the returns for
Do
the
it.
first few minutes, all right?
Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
All right. Do it.
Yep, go.
Get it off your chest.
No, well, we can stick on CM Punk for a second. I don't want to spend too much time because it's all anyone's been talking about. And unless we have
Yeah,
anything
and it's
fresh
all been
to say,
said.
why bother?
No, there's nothing you can say.
But,
yeah,
like-
there's nothing you can say. It was awesome. We
Brilliant
loved it.
moment. The
And it
booking
rules.
itself, it started off the show, right? They didn't waste any time. They just put him out
Yep.
there.
No.
And then from what I
Which
hear, I
is the
didn't
only
watch
way
it,
you
but the
could
rest
do
of the
it.
show was average.
The rest of the show was just a wrestling show with some good matches.
How can
but it
you
was the CM
how can you
Punk
measure
show,
up to that
so-
opening segment? Of course, it's going to suck after that.
I would have really liked for them to just kind of make it seem like it wasn't going to happen and then bring him out. I think that would have been rad.
Yeah, but I think Tony Khan's very much like, no, we've signed him.
Yeah.
Here you go.
Yeah, they didn't tiptoe around it.
I think when it's that big, I think they did it perfectly. Telegraph it, and
Because
you
the
know,
crowd
like
would
I
have
know
just
you said
hijacked the
Cobra,
show.
like, Yeah, I know they sold tickets for like $6 or whatever, but it was sold out.
Yeah.
You got a huge crowd there. They only want to see one dude. They're going to chant CM Punk the whole night. If he doesn't, at the end of every segment, they're going to be like, CM Punk. So I think they did it perfectly. Felt like you had to wait like an hour for the music to hit, and then when the music hit, it was just, I think they did it absolutely perfectly for a debut that big. But I think I do like the surprise, but I think when it's that big and it's that telegraphed, that's kind of as good as you can do.
And it's probably good
when
that
everybody absolutely knows.
It's probably good that the first time we heard of Cult of Personality was actually CM Punk and not someone trolling. I think that would have taken away from it in the end. As
no
funny
doubt
as
that
it
would have been tempting.
Yeah.
Yeah, it would have been tempting. But I am glad that they just said, look, this is his moment. We're not going to try and fuck with it. Just let him come out, do his thing. And the first thing he did was put over Britt Baker, which was awesome.
Yeah. First sentence out of his mouth.
Yep. So I thought that was really cool, and shows that he's going to be really fun, and he's not just going to be on an island of his own. He's going to really mix it up with everyone.
Yeah.
So,
does Britt Baker need to be put
awesome.
over? She is the women's champion, and their women's division is shit, and there's probably many more who need it.
Well, I think from the perspective of like the first thing, like, because you know how many millions of views and how many millions of new eyes on AEW there was. The first thing he said was to mention their women's champion. So from that perspective, yeah.
Yeah, that's cool if they're just a bunch of random people watching, I suppose. That makes sense.
Yeah, because can you imagine how many Laps fans from 7 years ago that haven't watched wrestling in half a decade or whatever would have tuned in because of CM Punk, and then the first thing he mentions is Britt Baker. You'd be like, who the fuck is that? And then you find out that it's the women's champion. Whether that counts for anything or not, I don't know, but it was a nice little thing.
Now Becky was a fun surprise, I guess.
And I think that one was rushed.
Absolutely. They just wedged that in there, literally, between two people who were supposed to have a match. But yeah, as I was saying when we were watching it, there was a 3-minute promo or whatever for this rivalry that's been reignited since WrestleMania, and it was one of our favorite matches to watch during WrestleMania. And got excited to see them again. And then they're like, Sasha Banks should not be in the arena tonight. I see that. Okay.
The old bait and switch.
It sucked the energy out, and then they brought out Kamala, and the whole crowd was like, we're gonna bottle some. And then
they fucking hated
Becky's
that,
music
man.
hits, and we're like, oh, cool, yeah,
There's
Becky.
nuclear in there.
Hang on.
Like, everyone was so pissed.
They were angry. And I was, Becky, yeah, cool, Becky. This is fun. What's she doing in the ring? Oh, why is she asking us if we're okay with her challenging for the belt? I mean, I guess that's fine, but can you not do that right now, please? Please stop. What's happening? Please stop.
Just not do it right now.
You can't beat her. She's covered in little pictures of the title. You can't take it from her. She clearly cherishes it. Walk away.
She rock bottoms her too.
Pulled out a rock bottom. Celebrated for 20 minutes when people weren't very happy with her. It was bizarre.
No, people were kind of booing her.
Yeah, it was it was not on.
It was weird.
Good for her being back. I hope her baby had a fun time backstage.
I see a few people saying, they turned her heel. I don't know if that's a heel turn. I think they legitimately just thought, let's just shock the crowd. But that's not the way. Because were you guys of the impression, like I was, she won the main event at WrestleMania, right?
Yeah.
Bianca. You have to be of the impression that she's their person. Like, that's who they're strapping the rocket to. Beats Banks. Why would you do that? Do you reckon they would do that to Reigns or to Brock? Or
Definitely not.
It was bizarre. It was a bizarre decision, even though it is Becky.
It was a Kofi moment.
Yes, which is so dumb because what's Kofi done since? Nothing. So it's bizarre. It's like, yeah, we know you like Bianca, but here's Becky Lynch. She's way cooler. It's like, well, she's not at all.
She has red hair and she's a man.
But that's just, yeah. Anyway, I thought it was just really, really silly.
It was
really,
yuck.
really
And she
short-sighted,
didn't
really
just,
silly.
if they were going to do something like that, she shouldn't have been gloating around the ring. It wasn't a heel turn because if it was a heel turn, she would have done something crazy afterwards. And she would have,
Heelish.
yeah, she would have won in a heelish way. She's going to
beat her easily.
Beat the, quite an exciting women's champion in a few seconds. If it was a heel turn, she would have, kicked her in the cervix. And she didn't do that. So
Yeah.
right in the cervix.
But straight in the cervix.
Up the guts.
So that felt flat. I mean, I don't know about you, Merce, but I think you probably agreed. Everything until kind of Edge Rollins was a bit meh.
Oh, it died. It really killed the crowd.
They were
It
rushing.
killed the
They
energy.
were rushing all the matches. Like Jinder Drew was over before I could even
Bro,
wake up from my nap.
fucking
It was
show
just-
still went. The show still went for 6 hours, and they rushed stuff.
felt like 6 hours.
But
How long was it actually? 4 or
It was
whatever.
4
4
Yeah.
hours,
Yeah.
7 minutes.
Yeah, it felt like just 78 years, man.
No one cared about Jinder Drew because Jinder doesn't have much heat
No one
as a
cares
heel,
about Jinder.
and people are kind of over
Yeah.
Drew. So I feel like that had to end quickly.
Yep.
But they could have had fun. They could have done some better wrestling. That should have.
They're
been.
still into Drew somewhat. Like both, they were counting down with him for the Claymore. Like,
Yeah,
so
'cause
I think
that's-
he's still
that's
somewhat
crowd
over.
participation. I think anyone can. Doesn't matter who
Yeah.
puts their fingers up. Everyone will count. They like being involved.
Yeah, and the crowd are just craving any kind of.
They paid pay-per-view
interaction.
tickets.
Interaction. Yeah, okay, that's
What were you saying? Brock
boy.
Lesnar.
Bork Laser.
I don't know who that guy is, but
His arms look
wasn't-
like fucking tree trunks. It's like
Bro,
he's like 1.5 times original Brock. It just
bro,
looks
that was
insane.
not Brock. That was not Brock that came back.
He's the rural
That was
butcher,
like-
Brock Lesnar. But it's
Oh
Brock.
my god!
It's private life Brock in the ring, which we haven't seen
It
before,
is.
and I love it. It's
Which,
like when
do you
Taker
think it's
came back as a
maybe-
bikie.
Yeah, it's way better than that. It's
I hope he comes out with a shotgun.
Uber.
I hope he drives out in a trailer and like his lead pipe is a shotgun.
I think
I meant tractor.
Top Knot Brock is the only guy who can beat Reigns. He's the only guy.
Super Saiyan
Yeah.
3 Lesnar.
Oh my god! The
I
guy-
don't want
like,
them to
when he
run
came out,
down
I was like,
Brock.
who is this?
I want this
Yeah.
Brock to have a title reign. I don't want Reigns to him to be the final test for Reigns or whatever. He needs to beat Reigns.
No. Just and squash him with that top knot too. Step on his chest and just stack him.
Do you think he's going to let it out, or is it just going to stay in a knot forever? Stay in a little ponytail.
That'll flow too. That'll flow. He'll have a little bit of flow to that.
There's
I don't
so
know.
little hair around it that I feel like it would just look silly if it wasn't tied up. Not that it doesn't look silly as is.
What if he braids it? Like, you know, like they do in MMA.
Warrior braid.
Viking style.
Yeah.
That'd be sick. But not for nothing though. Like, yes, his haircut is ridiculous and his outfit, like he's got the boot cuts on and the little singlet.
Oh, the jeans
But
are bad.
he is yoked. He is yoked. They have not tested him lately. Like, he is jacked, man. Oh,
I really hope they
he's
don't
great.
shave the beard
I
or cut
love
the
him.
hair, though. If he comes back looking like Albrock, I'm getting very upset because I've been waiting so long for
Yeah.
him to wrestle with a beard.
I don't even
Isn't
want
it-
him to wrestle in his MMA shorts or anything. Like
I don't know if he will,
take
if he
off
looks like
the
that.
boot
black
cuts, man.
singlet.
I saw a picture. I saw a meme of a side-by-side comparison to him and Dean Ambrose, and it made me
Yeah.
laugh. It was very
Evolution.
good.
Oh, was it the evolution? Yeah.
Yeah, the evolution. Amazing. But that was crazy. That got a massive pop as well because Brock's Brock.
I
So-
just really enjoyed Brock being.
But man, he looked psychotic.
Yeah, but him raising his arm and getting crowd reaction, him actually just not being a heel who was relying on Paul Heyman was really fun. I liked seeing it.
Yeah.
And I'm looking
Yeah.
forward to
Yep.
seeing him do his thing. And SmackDown is just killing it. Again, they get Brock now.
Oh my god! Like that was the first thought I had after the show finished. Was like, they've got Becky and Brock and Reigns, and they just had Cena. So I don't know
Yeah.
what Fox is doing. They are winning the negotiations. Like they are winning some kind of negotiations or something.
Just cancel Raw
'Cause
at this point.
They're killing it. Oh, well, they must be outrating them. I don't know the ratings, but SmackDown must be outrating Raw at this
they are.
point.
Yeah.
Easily.
Easily. Yep. I thought so. SmackDown's out of its mind.
Goldberg, what was that? We thought that it was a legitimate stoppage due to Goldberg's frail legs just combusting.
His little pasty legs.
Yeah. And by the way, he was wearing his old shorts, which I predicted because he's been looking
Impressive.
pretty good.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I predicted incorrectly.
Yeah. You're a failure.
Yeah, I was thinking MMA.
Parents hate you.
MMA shorts, but
But we thought it was it, and that the referee was, going to put up the cross, and then Bobby just started hitting his leg with a chair. So it was obviously, but it still seemed like a very, very strange way to end it.
the biggest thing I took away from the match is that it was horrific.
It was awful. They tried to let. I saw like kind of a review afterwards saying, "Hey Vince, we're just gonna let Bobby kind of squash Goldberg so that he can really mark his territory and just show that he's the dominant champion, right?" Like, no, we're gonna let Goldberg wrestle for 5 minutes.
Dude, as soon as they locked up, I was like, oh no, they're going to try and do a match. This is not good. Like, you can't try and do a match.
And they did.
And the whole thing was ridiculous, but at least Sunberg got fucking dropped, which is all I wanted.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I predicted that correctly. I predicted that Bobby is going to squash Goldberg's son. But Goldberg just reminds me of the divorced dad who's trying to impress his son,
His son doesn't care. Yeah. That's the thing, and Gage has never cared. Even when he was a little kid. Remember when he brought him in the ring and he's just like, yeah, Dad, I don't even like wrestling. He's like, no, I want to wrestle in front of you. It's like, Dad, I really don't want to. I just want to play football. I can hang out with my friends. He's like, no, I'm a wrestler, Like, son.
And then he jumps on the turnbuckle and dabs, and his dad's like, no, don't do that.
No, we don't do that here. We're wrestlers. I don't like wrestling.
Respect
I like
me,
Fortnite.
son. Dad, I'm supposed to be clamoring for your respect. You're not supposed to give a fuck what I think.
It really does feel like
I'm Goldberg.
It's Goldberg really trying to be cool in front of his kid, and his kid's like, I actually think like the cars that you like are cooler, Dad. No, but I'm a wrestler as well, son.
I thought
it
it was good that he pulled out the Hurt Lock on young Gage, and
100%. It was the only way it could have gone. And I love MVP's reaction where he's like,
That's what I was pointing out. He was like, there's no way of knowing that that was a kid.
Yeah.
He didn't know it was a kid. It could have been anyone.
Could have been anyone. Could have been a fan. It's Vegas. You know how it goes. That's what it is.
To dominate people on the floor in Vegas.
Yeah.
So that was that.
Yeah,
it
that was
was
shit.
disappointing. It did no one any favors. Bobby Lashley should have destroyed him if he was going to lose anyway. That would have been nice.
Yep.
Instead, they set something up for the future potentially. What?
Yeah.
Really?
I think. Well, the reason I picked Goldberg in my predictions, and I didn't bring this up because I didn't want to potentially spoil it, but I read that Goldberg only has, before SummerSlam, had 2 matches left on his current deal.
I heard that too.
And so I was like, I think Goldberg will win and then he'll drop the title back. That was my theory.
Just like he beat Owens a few years ago for the title and then dropped it to
and then
Lesnar.
you drop it. Yeah. That's what I thought maybe they might be. I didn't think Lesnar, but I thought maybe they might. But yeah, obviously not. Hopefully
What would he do for his last match now then?
just get written off, hopefully, forever.
By Bobby, destroyed again, but properly
Hopefully.
this time. Yeah.
Hopefully.
It'd be funny
Although
when they go out.
after Raw, which we'll get to shortly, briefly, I don't know. I don't know where they're going. It doesn't look promising, but we'll see.
Okay, bro, champs. Other things happened. What do you mean after Raw? Can we just get to that? What are you talking about?
Well, they had that whole thing where Drew is like a contender now or something, I think, which is not, it's not good. It's not fun. It's not fun.
It's not good. We're not having a good time.
Well, because they've got Drew in and around the title picture again, And it's like,
But
no, it hasn't
isn't
been long
he in
enough.
and around the US title picture? He might be involved with Damien Priest.
True.
That could
Granted, I
happen.
haven't watched it. So
Yeah, because the whole thing was like Bobby was like egging on Priest, and Priest is like something to do with you're the coward for not wanting to face me kind of thing, and then that led to a tag match.
I see. Okay.
Where Bobby walked away and left Sheamus alone in the ring. And yeah, you're right. In and around the title picture is not words you want to associate with Drew McIntyre at the moment.
I just saw the image of them in the same match or like the same setting, and I thought, oh no, are they really going back to that already? So I'm glad I'm wrong.
Yeah.
Jinder's
Very
got
fucking glad.
like the Jinder angle's not over, surely. Or
He
was
beat
that
the shit out of him for like a month. It's well and truly over.
Yeah,
I
I
reckon.
don't know what's left for Jinder, to be honest.
which is awful because there's just so much more history there, and they didn't get a chance to tell it at all.
Isn't it crazy that they bring guys back like that, book them so strong, and then they just get fucking beaten like without a whimper, pretty much? It's insane.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Yeah.
Cena Reigns,
Cena Reigns. Yeah.
fun,
Yeah,
Fun.
I enjoyed it.
typical
I like
Cena
the-
match.
I like the t-shirt and the
Yeah, it was
graphics
fun.
and stuff.
But I think you were spot on, Merce, when you were saying the summer of Cena's over. Like that's all it was.
Yes.
It's true. He's announced that's it. He's going back to his movies. I still think one day he'll win the 17th, but I don't know. He's losing his hair, so
He is losing
Yeah.
his hair, but that's all I got.
Well, the thing I saw was like it was every Cena match ever, but it was also a Reigns match as well, wasn't it? Where he still got all that offense in, and Cena still kicked out of a bunch of stuff, but the sheer amount of kickouts of the AA was crazy to me. Like that, Cena, next time he comes back, he's just got to throw that move in the bin because it never works the first time.
yeah.
Not even the super. He kicked out of the super AA off the middle rope.
I thought that could have been
the
it.
tribal chief, bro.
I bid on that. I thought, oh, maybe he's going to
Yeah.
get it.
Yeah.
But it was good. It was really fun. It was a good match.
One
It was a
thing,
good main event WWE match.
what I am sick of now officially is when an announcer says, "What does he have to do to put his opponent
Oh,
away?"
that's-
They did it like 10 times.
Yeah.
It's probably my most hated line, and now that Pat McAfee
Do you know what
as well.
I really hate Michael Cole saying lately? Is
Well,
Cena's got a chance. He's got a chance, Pat, or something like that. Like when the guy who's the underdog
He's coming back.
is like, oh my god, he's got a chance, and you're like, of course he's got a chance. He's John Cena. He's won 16 times. Yeah, he's won this world championship 16 times. Of course he's got a fucking chance.
well, some people might not know that he has a chance.
He's got a chance, Pat. It's like, oh my god, yes, Michael. Just relax, mate.
Riddle gifted a scooter to Randy Orton. That's cute.
Yes.
Cute. Very cute. I like it.
They're so cute. That was one of my notes. Is that RK Bro are very cute together.
Very cute.
And
What's
Riddle was
that?
wearing the snakeskin outfit. And I'm like,
Yeah.
why is he...
Bunch of fun. Nikki Arsehole is still Nikki Arsehole despite losing. They should have just stripped her entire character after that.
Her and Rhea look like they're going to be a tag team, right?
Well, they've just... they've won a match together now, so...
I think they're going to go down that path, which just really is different, and it's not very good.
You agree how she just looked very out of place, Murphs, in that match? She just looked like she did not belong.
Nah.
Yeah. I don't know, man. Whatever. Who fucking cares? My note here is literally Nikki Arsehole and Rhea a team. Fuck it, why not? So at least they're on telly, I guess.
At least they're on the telly.
And I mean, I can't believe we've buried the lead here, but Karrion Kross is wearing a fucking gimp suit this week.
Man. I'd already forgotten. Back keep pushing it out of my head. I think it's time now we kind of
dead on arrival, man. He's so dead.
kind of repair Karrion. No, I think after the Hardy thing, it fell a bit flat. Maybe we bring out Scarlett now. Just we do what we know works for Karrion.
Fuck that.
Who the fuck's Karrion Kross? Who's Karrion Kross?
He's the here. Look, don't worry. Here's a picture.
Look at this guy's face. He's a scary guy. He's a scary looking guy. You know what's scary? Sex slaves. Sex slaves are scary. Give him some suspenders and a mask. You go to an orgy and you're like, oh, look at all these beautiful people, and there's just some guy in the corner with a mask on. You're like, ooh, scary boy. I don't want him to whip me. Let's do that. Let's give him that. Get the fuck out of my office.
Why is Vince McMahon the alien bug from Men in Black? But seriously, that's how the meeting went, for sure.
Yes.
It's exactly how
Gimp mask where he looked like a dollar store
scary
shredder.
sex slave in
Dollar
the
store
corner of an
shredder.
orgy.
Yes.
Yeah, nah, man.
It's fucking
Yeah,
sucks, and he wrestles
I
in
heard
it
a
too,
lot of
which is
Mortal
even
Kombat
worse.
references. Yeah, he keeps the suspender things on.
Wait, who does he look
won-
like from? Oh, he looks
he
like
won
from
very quick.
Shao Kahn,
Yeah,
I guess,
yeah,
from
yeah.
Mortal Kombat, yeah.
Yeah, that's what people have been saying. He won quite quickly and pretty dominant,
Over Rick.
but no
Ricochet,
no one probably
Is any more-
realized that. No one was watching. They were just staring at.
If anyone's more dead than Karrion Kross, it's the man who gets beaten by Karrion Kross in 90 seconds. Oh,
Ricochet, I don't know. They've still got plans for him. Maybe, I don't know. What's Jeff doing now? Again? They just keep doing things that helps nobody.
Yeah.
It must be frustrating.
I think
for all involved.
that's the problem, isn't it? Is like they do some new things, they do change things up a little bit, but they don't tend to help anyone. It doesn't tend to lead to anyone being more over at the end of it.
It's like they're just looking for
super
angles and trying things, and like maybe they can come up with some entertainment. Somehow.
It's almost like they're just
that's
searching
good
for
the company.
content.
Yeah,
to
like
just
they don't
fill
care
the
about the
show.
wrestlers themselves.
No.
or anything. They're just like, let's
just
find
content.
something fun. Yeah.
So Mike Chioda was quoted as saying that he heard that WWE is getting ready to sell to Disney.
Okay.
Right.
So
Okay.
they
Okay,
could just
so
be biding time. I don't
think-
know.
I think you brought this up when we talked about it last time, Trini. Like, does this make any business sense to be cutting people because they're kind of your assets, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So does it actually make any sense business wise to get rid of guys like Aleister Black, Daniel Bryan? Like these are guys who, particularly guys like Daniel Bryan, like he's an asset. He's merchandise money. He's marketable. He has a name. He's
He's a draw,
established.
but I'm guessing he just didn't want to sign, right? He didn't want them. He didn't
Well,
care
it
about
must
money
be.
anymore.
Yeah.
But I'm sure that you can come up with a deal that satisfies him to keep him there with creative
Maybe
or
they
whatever.
couldn't.
But they
Yeah,
obviously,
yeah.
like both parties chose not to. So that's fine.
Yeah. Business sense, it does. It's common in corporate America. You cut the fat and
Trim the fat and sell.
Yeah, and sell because that's more cash in the business and less
Okay.
going towards Bryan Danielson and his vegan farm. So
And his little fucking self-sustained little garden that he has out the back.
nothing wrong with that.
It's,
obviously Vince doesn't like it.
what does a company like WWE look like with Disney owning it? Does anything change? Like what happens? I don't even know how that works.
More cross promotion. Spider-Man showing up in the middle of a match.
Well, I mean,
Star Wars lightsaber duels.
but Trini and I were talking just before we started rolling about how there is two definite markets now of like there is pro wrestling and there's sports entertainment now. I feel
Yeah.
like you get WWE's unashamedly sports entertainment. It is 100% what you see is what you get. It's just bite-sized stuff It's just content. It's just fun things that happen, and it's a goofy TV show. AEW is a little bit more gritty, a little bit more for the hardcores, and you've
also
got
Space Jam,
Yes.
but like
which apparently they paid to use.
that's
They
crazy.
weren't paid
Isn't it?
for that. They paid for the rights to use that.
Isn't that nuts?
How much fucking
You'd-
money do they have?
Oh mate, the Khan
Idiots.
family's worth fucking loads.
Pissing it away.
Oh my god.
Anyway.
It just doesn't make sense in day-to-day life going to your boss saying, hey, look, Tony, look, we need some money to get the rights to Space Jam for a one-off show. Oh, yeah.
We're gonna
of course.
promote the new film, but we're not gonna get paid for it. We're gonna pay them.
Yeah.
Uh,
Like
That's
in any,
nuts.
in any other organization, they would just be like, what the fuck?
That doesn't make any sense at all.
And Tony Khan's like, of course. Like, you know,
Yeah,
you
in
in a
guys are
good
the
corporation, in a good company, they'd say, "Who the fuck are you? Put on your gimp masks and get out to the ring."
Think Master Shredder meets Master Dildo Specialist.
Wow. Yeah, I
That
really
was-
should have had a 3-second pause to think of something better than Master
Nah,
Dildo
that's-
Specialist.
That's it.
Does Karrion
this
Kross-
show's organic, all right?
Does Karrion Kross gain access to
Even
the
just-
brown room, Murphs?
Even just
Yes, he would.
Ass Shredder would have been fine.
Ah, Shredder. Fuck. Edit it out. So I'll say it in isolation. Ass Shredder, and then
Perfect.
you edit that in.
Yeah, you know I'm not doing that.
Definitely not. Definitely not. But you got Nicky Arsehole and you've got Master Ass Shredder, so it is what it is.
Mike Chioda also said that Vince doesn't like them referencing the referees by name
Yeah,
anymore.
There's been a year or two.
Yeah.
Since he's like, no, don't call the referee Mike Chioda or Jess, whoever. It's the referee.
Yeah, because he was like, "Who the fuck is this? Why are they mentioning his name?" But then apparently
he's
Pat did
Mike
recently.
Chioda. He's worked here for 30 years.
His name is Little Nate, Vince. That's what everybody knows him as. I wanted to just, I guess, express my delight at the fact that The Miz beat the fuck out of Morrison, because hopefully we get an end to this bullshit and we get a little bit more of a serious Miz. I'm just glad that fuck that dripstick spot at SummerSlam, by the way. What was that?
Wow.
Yeah,
Oh
garbage.
man.
Goodness
I
me,
can't
that was
believe we have to
rubbish,
watch
wasn't it?
that.
I felt sorry for Woods a little bit because that's a real death spot. Like, that was so bad.
That was
so
some real
awkward.
kids' entertainment. Like, that was funny in the kindergarten. Maybe.
I did like Woods coming out as Scott Hall for some random
Oh,
reason.
That was good.
He looked-
Yeah, that's
He looked great, but the spot was so shit. It was so shit. And Reggie was climbing fucking trees on Raw. Like, I don't know what's going on, man.
I do like
Whatever.
that because it shows off what Reggie is good at. Like,
Oh, it's great.
That's why he was probably hired in the first place.
But like, you go from like, this is how great wrestling is, right? There's something for everybody. You go from CM Punk returning after 7 years to Reggie literally climbing trees and jumping on the top of ice cream trucks. Like, this is what wrestling is at the moment. It's so good.
yeah.
And I kind of want to see Logan Paul versus The Miz. Why not?
Yeah.
If we're going to go down the sports entertainment route, put Logan in there with Miz. Logan's like an athlete. He'd be able to do something. And Miz would be able to get a good match out of him.
It'll be
Why
funny if Logan does a worse job than Bad Bunny, because Bad Bunny is not an athlete at all, and he killed it.
Well, yeah. I mean, Bad Bunny was like Logan, obviously a decent boxer. So like he has, and I think he's got a wrestling background, not pro wrestling, like amateur wrestling.
Mm.
So I'd imagine he'd be able to do some stuff. But I don't even know if that's what they're planning. I think they just use him for a little YouTube boost and that's it. And Alexa and Charlotte. Why not? Fuck it. The doll's so dumb, but might as well.
Yep.
That was dumb.
Also-
Alexa's music's dumb.
Charlotte's
Everything about that's dumb.
Charlotte's-
The Fiend died for this shit, man. I can't believe it.
The Fiend is dead.
Died for this.
Charlotte's corkscrew to the outside at SummerSlam.
Yeah,
Great
that's
spot.
good.
Oh, mate. It's all, she's so good. She
So
really is. Like,
wonderful.
whether you like her being champion or not, she's probably the best female wrestler ever.
Yep.
So you can say what you want. Oh, that is not the hill that I would die on, but I would certainly be wounded on that hill. That is for sure.
You'd be wounded. You'd have a
Yeah.
severed limb.
I'd have a severed limb, but I wouldn't die on that hill.
Yep.
I would quit before I died, but I'd say she's one of the best female wrestlers of all time. Foch. Wanted to just talk about what happened on Dynamite very briefly with Punk when he dropped a Daniel Bryan reference when the crowd was chanting, yes, 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 yes. He said that's someone else's shtick. You guys might have to be patient for that one. And the crowd went nuts. And as I've already stated,
You're planting the flag.
I'm planting my fucking flag if Danielson signs with AEW. Pledging my allegiance. Because you got to pick one. You can't like everything. So,
No, it's not possible. You can't like
give
multiple wrestling
shit.
promotions. It is illegal.
no. Nope.
Daniel Bryan's bored
I
me for
will-
years. I've expressed the only thing I liked was his vegan heel gimmick with the title.
And that was funny because he was promoting saving the environment and eating healthier. And
Yeah, it
people
was
in
the
America
classic.
fucking hated it for it.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah.
Fuck you. I want my meatball sub.
Yeah.
It's a classic positive
a Diet
message going against the mainstream. That
That was
people love
great.
to boo. Yeah.
When he went, remember when he went through the concession stand and stuff? And he was going through all the merchandise saying this is all printed
Yeah, that
on-
was very fun, and you're a Brian Mark, and I don't want to really give you a platform to just
Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough.
CT, audibly CT all over D-Bry. It's not...
A little bit, nothing wrong with a little bit of fellation.
Bit of train action.
I was going to say, I just thought of Falacia Boy Ric Flair. I don't know why.
Nice. Walter lost, right?
Yeah.
That's big news.
Probably one of the best matches I've seen in a while, to be honest. It was
I need to watch it.
seriously hard hitting. Like,
Yeah, cool.
it's they beat the absolute shit out of each other. Dragunov is so unique and so cool, and Walter is Walter. So
I didn't see anyone angry about Walter finally losing, so it must be well liked.
Yeah.
yeah, Dragunov, and they told like a story over the course of like 10 months of because Walter beat the shit out of Dragunov in their first one.
Yeah.
And then it was basically the redemption story over the course of 10 months of Dragunov just fighting and scraping and clawing his way towards Walter again. And then he got the chance to do it, and the finish was brutal, man, with the choke. At the time I was watching, I was like, yeah, no shit, you would tap out to that. Like, that's how believable it felt because it was so nasty.
Yeah.
And yeah,
Fuck yeah.
what a match, dude. The torpedo that he does, where he literally just throws his head at people, is nuts. The guy is just out of his mind, and what a great match. And Joe and Kross was good as well. It was a pretty good takeover, actually, to be honest.
See, you get that cross, and then you get Captain Dildo cross on Raw. You're like,
I'm annoyed that both of your suggestions off the cuff were way better than mine. Doesn't it kind of go against everything that we were talking about on NXT though? With Samoa Joe and like what's been reported that they don't want anybody, they want to look at different kind of people and that sort of thing, and then they put the title on Samoa Joe and Dragunov goes
Joe's
over on their show and
established.
stuff.
Joe's
Yeah,
established.
Yeah.
And the UK title's a different deal, I think. It's
Yeah, I think they want an established person when they make this shift to make it perhaps a little bit more palatable whenever they change it up, like Nick Khan said they were going to.
Yeah.
We got the wrong Khan, boys.
Yeah.
I reckon it's all a fucking conspiracy. And
It
he's
is.
trying to tear it down from the inside.
Disney already owns AEW.
Yes.
Yeah.
And this is all a plan. This is Vince McMahon Vince McMahon has orchestrated all of this. He's going to make $1 billion off the sale of WWE, and then he's implemented Nick Khan, because Disney already owns AEW. Nick Khan facilitates the sale of WWE to Disney, and then he's the CEO and he tears AEW down.
Only $1 billion.
I don't know what you would get for WWE.
Do you reckon Vince McMahon hired Nick Khan because he thought he was Tony Khan?
The kids seem to like this guy.
I mean, $1 billion's a lot. I just feel like Vince is a billionaire, so maybe I'm thinking he is a billionaire, right?
I think he was.
I don't know that he is at the moment.
$1 billion still, it's a lot. It's 1,000 million. And
That's
the
correct.
product's
It's 1,000 millions.
It's sorry. Yeah, no, that's which is a big number. But he's worked so hard on it. I feel like $1 billion just doesn't sound like enough. But also, I think I'm comparing that to Square buying Afterpay for $39 billion, which is a lot of money. But Afterpay is big business.
I'd say Afterpay is probably in a few more houses than WWE. So
That's fair. That's a fair thing to say. Okay.
You got any questions for us, Murphs?
well,
Yeah.
no, I don't. But
You don't?
no, I do.
No questions? Oh.
But I wasn't going to give you any notice for that.
Ah, you fucking bastard. You lured us in.
Every time.
For just once, Murphs, just once, I would like a bit of notice.
Well, a tiny little bit of notice for you is they are our boy CM Punk inspired. So
Every time.
because it's a special episode. It's the Punk episode.
The punk episode.
Okay.
CM Punk. CM Punk.
Questions without notice.
Did you steal these from another podcast this time?
No, I didn't.
Good.
And I saw you slandering me on Facebook, saying that I'm stealing content, even though I said that first. Stealing shit. Well, I did.
Actually,
I stole
no, you
one.
didn't say it. Yeah, exactly. You stole that from... Yeah.
From the
Who
Dennis.
could you beat in
Anyway.
a fight? Yeah, you stole that from another podcast.
I didn't steal
That's
that from
exactly
that
what I'm
random fucking guy who posted that 9 hours ago.
saying. No, but they took it from that podcast, if anything. Not our podcast. So...
Oh, was he on a podcast?
Just reminded me that you stole content. No.
I don't even know what you're talking about.
Give us some questions. Shut up and open your mouth.
Well, I wanted, because Sam Punk handed out ice cream bars, I wanted to know what your flavours would be if you were to hand out ice cream bars.
Boysenberry.
The fuck is that?
Only the best choc top of all time, you fuck.
Are you kidding me?
Boysenberry is pretty good.
I don't actually think I've tried it. Boysenberry. Is it? Is that how you say it?
Yeah. It's kind of
What
like a
is that?
blueberry, but not
Boysenberry?
quite.
Plain. Like, not vanilla.
Yours would be anything but vanilla. Let's be
It's
real.
It's just like
Your
frozen
vanilla
milk.
midget.
People are
Yours
like,
would be
"What the fuck
anything
is
but
this?"
vanilla.
It's ice cream.
You're not a vanilla
I-
man.
I'm not a vanilla man.
No.
Oh, boy. I think I would just go Valentino, which is Mexico's favorite hot sauce. Straight up. Just chili.
What?
Slice. Yeah, because it boils your taste buds and cools them down at the same time. Perfect.
Wow.
Spice me up.
Mm-mm.
What's yours? Do we get to ask you? Because you seem to be judging. What's
Well,
your
mine would
ice
be just-
cream flavour?
Mine would be choc peppermint for sure, because that's my go-to.
So beige, bro. Like, yeah, the peppermint has a little bit of a bite, but
Peppermint's delicious, man. What are you talking about?
Have a
Fucking
great ice cream
boysenberry.
bar. Have a great
Po-
time.
boysenberry.
And, minty fresh breath afterwards. I could see why.
boysenberry. No, boysenberry's got me hard. Actually, that sounds really
Yeah.
delicious. So, Trini's
Where do you get that? At
Well,
any local store?
It's
mainly funeral homes.
yeah.
You can only get them when you're browsing caskets.
At the candy bar at the funeral
I'm
home.
going to have to look this up, because I feel like it might be down my alley. I'm not sure.
Boysenberry. Have you not had boysenberry before?
Is it boysenberry or poisonberry?
Boysenberry.
Poison.
Boy, B-O-Y-S-E-N, berry.
Boys
Can you
and
get
their
them at the cinema?
berries. This is
Can't
you're
get it at
saying
the
Chop
cinema?
Chop, right?
Yeah, that's where I discovered them.
Wow. Okay. Next time I go to the cinema next year or whatever, when we get out of lockdown, I might
Yeah.
go have a look.
Next lifetime, maybe.
Yeah. Second question.
COVID.
Yes, go.
What is the ultimate theme music of all time? As it's CM Punk inspired, he obviously has, one of the greats. What is the ultimate?
I'm
Da 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 da.
Yeah.
Da da da
Obviously.
da da.
Man, yeah, I don't think there's anything really close to that. I have to say, Cult of Personality, to me, not one of the greats. I had
Really?
I had this selection. It was like, it was just maybe a 5-disc, maybe even a 10-disc rock compilation when I was younger.
Mm-hmm.
I think it kind of spanned through the decades and whatever, but they were not the biggest hits in the world, but kind of this, forgotten rock songs that you don't hear played very often. And Cult of Personality was on there. And so I hear that and it takes me back to then. And I liked the song, but as entrance music, it's never really done that much for me. Like, it's a good
Interesting.
song, but it's not entrance music. I don't think, that's a killer entrance tune. I think that End of Heartache was a cooler entrance tune.
This fire burns.
Is it This Fire Burns?
It's on the one with my curse on it. What's that one?
The other one.
That
Same
one.
singer though, right?
Yep.
They had the same singer for a few albums, yeah. It was good. Anyway, This Fire Burns, yeah, whatever. The Killswitch Engage song, you know what I'm saying?
Yep.
That's cool. It just goes hard, but yeah, I think Roland is better than Cult of Personality.
Roland's
Oh, Roland.
fucking dope, man. That's so
Great.
sick. Yeah.
Roland's great. Kane's tune with the band.
Oh, Slow Chemical.
Slow Chemical, yeah, that
Yep.
was sick.
Yeah, that's good. And, Edges as well. Edges is fucking all time.
I don't like the Alter Bridge one.
I liked He Who Shall Not Be Names.
Crispin.
Chris, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. There's no holding me back.
The songs that have vocals, the music really needs to hit. Like that melody needs to hit.
Yeah.
Because there are some, especially in the late noughts, the era that I wasn't really watching, a lot of the songs, like Miz's entrance, like it's mostly vocal based and it's shit. I hate it. And there are quite a few of those around that time.
Yeah.
Similarly, that I can't stand them.
True.
The Rock's
know.
music, fucking dope, man.
Yeah.
So Stone Cold and The Rock, but it might also be because of the reactions they were getting at the time and because of the nostalgia factor.
True.
Those tunes
I think
are sick.
if you listen to them in isolation, they're not that great.
Yeah.
But with a crowd going
Yes.
nuts with
Yeah.
them coming out, yeah.
Yeah.
But that's what it is. That's what
Even
an entrance
You sort of,
Jericho
yeah,
is
and
an
I think,
entrance.
I think that's what.
Wow. You know I got it. Break the world on. That's a good one too. It's just
Yeah.
all those guys, man.
I think-
all those songs, but they combine with the
Yeah, that's what Jim Johnston got
talents.
right with, Stone Cold the Rock kind of thing. It's they're plain enough, so outside noise like a huge pop can actually stand out over that music as opposed
Yep.
to the music just being the whole thing.
So Jim Johnston
Yeah.
is the answer. He's the ultimate theme music of all
He's the
time.
ultimate.
Anything
Absolutely,
by
Yeah.
anything by Jim.
Bringing in songs usually for me just doesn't work. If you just
Absolutely.
He's the goat. And do you know what
songs.
another one is, just quickly before we get to it, would be the Run DMC DX. song.
Okay.
I don't think they ever used it, but it was on that
Yeah, they did. It was
that
like
CD.
it was around the time when X Pac and Road Dogg were DX, and that was it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's an all timer. The King of Rock.
What? Yeah.
Yeah, that was great. Shout out
Dudley
to them.
Boys music was cool too. Dun, 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 and the Hardy Boys obviously, but that Dudley Boys song hits different.
Yep. Yeah, it's good.
So many good songs, man.
Glorious. I will give in. I will give
Very
in until I'm
very cool.
victorious.
Very repetitive, though.
Yeah, it's rubbish.
Fuck you, man.
Dolph Ziggler's music sucks.
Yeah,
Yeah, I could probably just because of the type of person I am, I could probably talk longer about everything I hate, but I don't know.
Yeah, I think I prefer the Spirit Squad over Dolph Ziggler's music.
Nah. Yeah. Easy.
But we could talk for a whole bloody episode about songs and music of wrestling.
Yeah, but we're not going to. So, do we have a chic tweet or what?
On August 24th, the Sheik, I think, was just relaxing and wanted like a nice cold beverage at the end of a hard day, consulting with his social media team. And he was going, "You think I'm afraid of you, Wasp? Bubba, you aren't a bee. You aren't a spider.
You want a bee?
You're worse than a fly. You are a jabroni. Go fuck yourself.
I think he's lost it. I think he's fucking lost it.
And let me drink
Officially.
my cold beer in peace."
Did he say what? What is he talking about?
So
Not a bee.
It's all So it's all one sentence. There's no punctuation with Sheik, and he goes, "You think I'm afraid of you, Wasp? Bubba, you aren't a bee. You aren't a spider. You're worse than a fly. You are a jabroni. Go fuck yourself and let me drink my ice cold beer in peace."
Wow. That one slipped through the PR team, I think.
You aren't
That's
a bee.
him screaming into
They're
Siri.
worse than a bee. They're scarier.
They
than
are
a bee.
worse. Wasps will sting
Doesn't
you.
even make sense.
Because they're
It
assholes.
doesn't even make sense.
He
Doesn't even
finds
make
that
sense.
wasps are scary. I mean, bees and spiders are scarier than wasps to the Sheik. I'm
It doesn't
even
make
try
sense.
and read into this. It's dumb.
Nah.
That's dumb.
It doesn't make
Is-
sense. It's so fucking stupid. We need to bring
no
back the
mention of
yard.
breaking backs.
Apparently there was a break his back, make him humble fan sign at SummerSlam.
Nice.
But
Oh.
we somehow missed that.
Where?
I don't know. In the crowd
Wish we
somewhere.
had seen that.
There was also someone in botch posting noticed that there was a tribal Chad sign in the SmackDown audience.
Tribal Chad. That's very good.
Tribal Chad.
All right. Well, thank you. Thanks for listening, as always, you fucking idiots.
Yeah, fuck
If
you,
you've
mate.
made it this
Yeah,
far,
bloody
shout
hell,
outs if you've
jockeys.
made it this far. I'll tell you.
I tell you what.
Bye, Marks!
Boss time! Boss time! At last, it's season 2!
Hands off.